It is currently Wednesday, October 2nd, 2024, which means it has been exactly, well, roughly 6 days since Hurricane Helene made landfall along the coast of Florida. Since then, it has been deemed the second most deadly hurricane in recent U.S. history. It's been tough for a lot of people. So I currently live in coastal Georgia. My house was covered in trees and branches and limbs. You know, I've got dents in my car. I've got 2 gutters that were damaged. I've got a hole in my roof, and we experienced some minor flooding. But all of that pales in comparison to some of the widespread destruction that was experienced across Southeast United States. Very unfortunately, there were entire communities that were completely wiped from the face of the earth. And it's sad to see. It's tough to watch because it's only been 6 days and there's a lot of people that are suffering. There's a lot of people who are trying to get by day to day without clean water, food, or even power or a roof over their heads because their homes are completely destroyed. So it's tough. You know, this whole community, this Crate Club thing that we do is kind of focused on survival and preparedness. And you know, there's some things you can prepare for, right? Like you can prepare for having a flat tire. You can prepare to go without power for a few days, but you can't prepare for 15 feet of water that completely engulfs your home. There's just not much you can do about that. And it sucks and it kind of hurts because you'd like to think that everything we do like has some sort of significance, like we actually can prepare for a lot of things, but there's just some stuff that you can't, and it makes you feel powerless, you know what I mean? There's nothing you can do about that. Of course, you know, some people had foresight and they were able to leave, but there's a lot of people that didn't have foresight and they didn't know that their communities were about to be engulfed by water, and there was just nothing that they can do. So as somber and as sad as it is to start this unboxing with those thoughts, it just didn't feel right to do so without first recognizing those who were affected by the hurricane. My heart goes out to the families that were affected, but I also think it's important to think, you know, to keep in the back of your mind why we do this stuff. It's important to have skills and to have tools and to have knowledge so that you can help yourself, but maybe you weren't directly affected by the hurricane, but you're in a position to go help those who were affected by the hurricane. All these tools and skills and knowledge are completely useless if you keep it to yourself. It's worth sharing, it's worth helping others, and really truly these communities are not going to be able to rebuild without the help of other people. That being said, this is supply drop number 33. Let's get into it. All right, so if you're new around here, this is Crate Club. We have these green boxes that we send out every single month. There's 4 different ways you can join our community. There's the lieutenant, the captain, the major, and the general. So those first 3, the lieutenant, captain, and major, those are month-to-month boxes. You get those delivered directly to your door every single month. And then we also offer the general. That's our biggest box. It's a quarterly option that shows up 4 times per year. What I typically unbox is the major because it's month-to-month and it's also the biggest month-to-month box that we offer. This crate is definitely gonna be your most bang for your buck. It's also our most popular. And so the whole purpose of these videos is to, 1, teach those who did receive this equipment how to use it if you aren't already familiar, but also to show people like, hey, you could join this community. This stuff could be at your front door and it's useful. It's going to help you. It's gonna help your everyday life. You may not use every single item every single day. That would be ridiculous, right? But there are scenarios in which I know you wish you had a certain item or tool or knew how to use a certain item or tool. And the whole purpose of this community is to learn how to use this stuff. And I've said it a million times, but iron sharpens iron, and that's kind of been one of our guiding principles in this community. So we're gonna start out relatively simple and then kind of get more tactical as we go on. And the first item I'm gonna show you is a nice little EDC folder called the Revo Canyon. The Revo Canyon is a testament to Revo's commitment to quality and design. The Canyon stands out with its simplicity, affordability, and ergonomics, all while upholding the core values that Revo is known for. For the Canyon, Revo opted for a big belly blade to provide excellent cutting geometry for daily tasks. This EDC folder also features 14 CR13 MOV steel, a button lock opening mechanism, a reinforced nylon handle with a unique carbon pattern, and stainless steel liners that promise a lifetime of use. With a high-strength reversible steel pocket clip that allows for both left-handed and right-handed tip-up carry, the Revo Canyon may be your new favorite EDC. So here's your Revo. Comes in a nice little brown box, sort of reminiscent of like an ammo box if you ever had like a box of 9mm 22, something like that, right? So Revo Canyon, here we go. Check this bad boy out. And here you go. So that's what this thing looks like. You can see the carbon pattern that they have going on there. Super cool feature. So I'm not gonna pretend like this is the world's craziest, most expensive, sharpest, lethal knife on the face of the planet, but it doesn't have to be in order for it to be useful. So super great ergonomics in the way that it fits in your hand. You have a thumb stud on either side, so it doesn't matter if you're left-handed, right-handed, the pocket clip is reversible, so you can do it whichever way you want. I love thumb studs. I'd say it's probably my second favorite opening mechanism. Super satisfying, super easy to open. The thing about the Revo is that you have this big belly blade. And I will say this is probably one of the broadest blades that I've seen in an EDC folder of this size. So the advantage of having a big belly blade like this is that as you are cutting and slicing through materials, the angle at which you're cutting through is constantly changing, meaning the efficiency in the way that you cut is going to allow you to cut through most easily. Just a little fun fact, knife stuff for you. You also have a small lanyard hole on the back, and then of course a deep carry pocket clip on the side that I said was reversible. It's everything you need, nothing that you don't. I know a lot of guys that carry these like ridiculous $400-500 EDCs that they never actually use. I think that they're like scared to use it and they just want to like have the bragging rights of carrying some ridiculous expensive knife. If you're that person, I'm not judging, but maybe you should consider something like this, because this really will be a great workhorse EDC for you. You're not gonna be scared to use it. It's gonna be reliable. It's gonna get done what you need to get done. And that's all I have to say about the Revo Canyon. Moving on. Walker's Razor Pro Digital Muffs. Hearing protection is non-negotiable. Walker's has become a household name when it comes to hearing protection, and these Razor Pros sit at the top of the line of their most popular products. Featuring an ergonomic design and offering up to 23 decibels of protection, these muffs were crafted with a shooter's auditory health in mind. High-gain, omnidirectional microphones provide 360-degree sound pickup that will eliminate any potential for auditory blind spots. Furthermore, active dynamic sound suppression used in conjunction with advanced digital circuitry will enhance the clarity of desirable ambient sounds such as human voices, animal movement, and steel impact, meanwhile protecting the user from harmful gunshots. That was a lot of buzzwords. They all mean things. Did I say the same thing like eight different ways, or was that all like unique thoughts and ideas? Dude, Walkers are the standard. I know that a lot of people, when it comes to Ear Pro, a lot of personal preferences out there. There's in-ear, there's over-the-ear, there's moldable, there's non-moldable, there's passive hearing protection, and then active hearing protection, which is what these are. These are my personal favorites. I know they're a little bit bulky, but I find them very comfortable over long periods of time. And so the best thing about these is that they are active. So here on the outside, you have this small little power wheel. Well, before we get there, right? So these are battery powered, AAA. You slot them right there on the side. And these Walkers actually came with these Duracell batteries. This is a small shout out, but like I appreciate when battery powered devices come with batteries and they don't come with like the cheap batteries that last like a couple days. They gave you Duracells. I trust Duracell. They've never failed me in the past. So it's pretty nice that they actually provided you with solid batteries that you can use off the rip. So you have one little cover here on one side. Pop that back on there. So in order to turn these things on, you have this wheel on one side. All you do is depress, hold it down for about a second, and then it's gonna come back on. The first time, so you'll notice in the directions it just says like click to turn on. You definitely wanna hold it down for about a half a second before it actually turns on. So they are adjustable, of course, in terms of height. You can move these up and down as needed, and then you actually twist the wheel upwards for increased protection or increased auditory enhancement. So the thing with these things is that your hearing will actually improve when you crank them all the way up. So yes, hearing protection is the primary goal here, but if you are an avid hunter or your hearing isn't so awesome, if you crank these things, not even all the way up, like 3/4 of the way up, you're gonna be able to hear things in any direction that might be approaching. Like right now, I can actually hear my wife typing on a keyboard like 2 rooms over. I think I can hear my dog stretching in the living room, which I can't normally hear without these things. So it actually enhances your ability to hear. And then of course, if a gunshot goes off or something loud, it's going to activate that sound suppression and it's going to protect your hearing. And then to turn them off again, you just press and hold for about a half a second, and then you're gonna hear a little tone that's gonna turn off. And then last little hidden nugget here, I don't even know why this is on there, but it's kind of cool. You'll notice an input jack right here on the same side as your wheel. So this is an 1/8 inch audio jack, and you can actually use these just like normal headphones, but they also will simultaneously serve as hearing protection. So if you ever want to just plug it in, listen to music, or go on a work call or something, I guess you could totally do that. Anyway, walkers are the standard. I love them. The actual color that we offered here is called bone, which is kind of cool. Probably a good middle ground option for both, you know, competitive shooters, military, outdoorsmen, whatever it is. But they call that bone. Kind of a cool color. Walkers, baby. I like them. I hope you like them. Moving on. The Go Dark Faraday Bag. With what seems to be an infinite number of possible cyber attacks in today's world, there are very few devices that are as simple yet as effective as the 188-year-old Faraday cage. Named after its inventor, Michael Faraday, the Faraday cage is an enclosure that prevents the transference of electromagnetic fields. This means any electronic device placed inside of a Faraday cage-equipped bag is safe from tracking, hacking, and electronic damage. Perfect for your cell phone, car keys, wallet, RFID cards, and more. This Faraday bag from Go Dark is perfect for everyday at-home use or while on the go. This is one of those technologies that we've been preaching for a while, and I think a lot of people still feel as though this is like some sort of hyper paranoid prepper thing that like daily people shouldn't be using, but we disagree. The reality is that our world is becoming increasingly reliant on technology, which makes us increasingly susceptible to cyber attacks. We all have cell phones, we all have credit cards, we all have keyless starts for our vehicles, we all have cards that get us into country clubs and shooting clubs, or maybe it's even like access on base at a military installation, or you're a teacher and you have some sort of pass that gets you in and out of certain areas on school grounds. But the thing is that all of that information can be stolen from you very, very quickly. And it's kind of crazy that you don't have to be some sort of elite level hacker to know how to use devices that will steal RFID tag information. But the idea here with the Faraday bag or Faraday cage is that any device you slip inside of here will be completely protected from any sort of incoming or outgoing signals. That includes Wi-Fi, 3G, 4G, 5G, Bluetooth, the whole 9 yards. Nothing can go in and nothing can go out. So if you stick your cell phone in here, that means it cannot be tracked or traced in any way. Similarly, car theft, it's always changing, right? There's dozens or even hundreds of videos out there of thieves pulling up to someone's house. They aim like a satellite retrieval device at your front door. They can steal the electronic catch-all trays. They can actually steal the signal from your keyless key fob from your catch-all tray that is sitting next to your front door, relay that to your own car, start your car, and drive off no problem. It's scary that that's a reality, but if you were to throw your keys inside of a Faraday bag like this, they would not be able to hack your keyless key fob. It doesn't really matter if you use it at home or on the go, airports or public settings, public events, probably a great way to protect yourself. I think it's super cool. I mean, the idea that this is a nearly 200-year-old technology that is now becoming more important than ever is kind of wild when you think about it. And of course, the company here is called Go Dark. The idea of going dark means you're like falling off the grid. You're undetectable or untraceable. And that's a peace of mind that I don't think a lot of people really appreciate. So this is gonna hold a number of items. We actually sell larger versions of these on our website, craiglove.com. But this is a great starter pack for throwing your cell phone, wallet, keys into. It should all fit in there just fine. But if you start to realize the importance of these devices, definitely go check out getting some more from us or just straight from godark.com. All right, moving on. The Oleus Multi-Purpose Trauma Bandage. Designed with direct input from the most experienced combat medics and first responders in the world, the Oleus modular bandage from TacMed Solutions is an advanced wound care solution intended for sustained bleeding control and enhanced treatment versatility. Stocked with 3 meters of sterile Z-packed gauze behind the wound pad, the Oleus is also packed with features such as removable occlusive plastic sheets for increased treatment versatility. It comes with a true pressure cup to generate focused pressure on the wound site to assist occluding damaged vessels. It also acts as a rigid eye shield for ocular injuries per TCCC guidelines. Hook and loop control strips are built into the elastic wrap to prevent accidental unrolling, further securing the emergency bandage throughout the application process. Okay, so in the past, we've gotten products like this from TacMed Solutions, and they're vacuum sealed in order to keep them sterile. They're sort of one-time use, and selfishly, I didn't unwrap them during the unboxing because I wanted to like actually keep it for my medical supplies. This time around, I decided to like open this bad boy up so I could actually demonstrate what the heck project you're looking at, because there's so many different ways that this can be utilized. So the guys over at TACMed Solutions, they really think about the scenarios in which their products are going to be used. They think a lot about the end user, and they're also just easy to work with, so we really appreciate those guys. So this is what you're essentially going to have. So the whole thing is going to be wrapped in this little paper wrapper. You just toss that, you don't need it, right? Also, there's going to be a thin occlusive layer included. I seem to have misplaced mine, which is why I don't open these things unless I really need it. But it kind of looks like a Ziploc bag. So that little occlusive layer, it's not attached to this bundle whatsoever. It's kind of separated. But what that is a non-permeable layer that can be used for preventing fluids or even air from getting into or out of places that it shouldn't be. Super useful, but you can also create occlusive layers out of Ziploc bags, Doritos bags, anything that is non-permeable. So this is your modular bandage that you're gonna find on the inside. It also features this little plastic cup, which serves as both a pressure cup as well as an ocular cup. So on the back side is gonna be all of your gauze that is Z-packed. Z-packed is literally just a shape, right? So all of that can stay in there. So there's you have options here, right? So let's talk about scenario number one, where you keep all of that gauze Z-packed inside of where it's supposed to go. So you simply apply this directly onto the wound site, and then you start wrapping. You give it some stretch and then you wrap around. Give it some stretch and then you wrap around. And you'll notice, like I did just then, if I were somehow applying this to myself or in a high stress scenario where I was trying to apply this to someone else, you tend to fidget and you lose control of it, right? What's smart about these is that they have the built-in brakes, which is just this Velcro-like material that prevents unraveling of the remainder of the materials here. So say I get a good wrap around, then I lose control of it, right? The remainder didn't just get thrown out, and then you lose tension, right? You lose control of it. It could get dirty. There's a lot of stuff that can go wrong if you lose control of the remainder of the wrap. But it has these built-in brakes. So you give it a wrap, stabilize it, release the next layer of brake, and then again, you stretch and wrap and apply pressure. So great option. And then once you get all the way to the end, you have this little hook and loop system, and all you do is wrap that around the outside layer of the bandage and it's gonna stay secure. So a second scenario, say you have both like an entry and exit wound, what you wanna do is to pull out all of that Z-gauze, and there's like 3 meters of this stuff. It keeps going, it keeps going. So the idea here is that you take your Z-packed gauze, you stuff the entry wound or wherever it needs to be stuffed. You can then take your pressure cup, apply it to the back side of the arm or leg, sandwich the 2 wounds, and then begin your wrapping process. Again, you have the built-in brakes that are gonna save you and prevent the remainder of the wrap from getting unexpectedly unrolled. So that's the process here. So this is one of those items that you can get away having zero experience with this, and in the heat of the moment, you could learn to properly pack and wrap this thing. But I don't encourage you to open this up unless you actually need to do so, again, because you're gonna lose the sterile aspect of it. And also it's just super, like you can see how much space this takes up. When it's inside the packaging, it's nice and vacuum sealed and doesn't take up as much space. But that is the modular bandage from TACMed Solutions. And I kept saying Olaus. It looks like Olays, but you go to their website, I think they say Olace. I'm sure that's an acronym for something. O-L-A-E-S, Olace. Great product. Put it in your medical kit, first responder bag, go bag, tactical trauma kit, whatever it is, right? Good option, keep it nearby. All right, I have 2 more items to show you. Yeah, supply drop number 33, baby. The Selkirk Fire Starter Kit. Let's face it, there are a lot of fire starter kits out there, but not many are as fully equipped as this product from Selkirk. This kit comes with 192 fire starters made of 50% wood fiber and 50% paraffin. This kit also contains 40 weatherproof matches that are conveniently stored in one of 2 protective match containers. The fluorescent orange match containers are watertight, keeping your matches safe and dry. The match containers also feature a convenient striking surface for lighting your matches. Furthermore, the matches themselves are double treated, making them both storm-proof and long burning. Last but not least, this kit from Selkirk also contains an expandable stainless steel bellows straw, perfect for starting and maintaining your fire without getting unnecessary smoke or ash in your face. And like I said, dude, there's a lot of fire starter kits out there. I think a lot of people gravitate towards like the minimalist. I've seen guys that carry fire starters like around their necks, like a necklace version, because they're sort of minimalist. They're like, oh, look, I can create a fire out of absolutely nothing. Very impressive, great skill to have. This is gonna make your life a lot easier. The fact that there's 192 fibers in here, let me open up and show you. So on the inside, you have these bricks, a lot of them. All of these are actual individual fire starters that can be broken down and then used to start a fire. So this one I have already opened up, and like we said, it's 50% wood and 50% paraffin. You'll notice that they're actually kind of pre-cut a little bit. right here, and all you want, it looks like a chocolate bar now that I think about it. So you can break right along where it's supposed to be broken. It's gonna be messy. And then again, you can take one of these individual blocks and break it off. So when we say that there's 192 fire starters in here, there's 192 of these things. Bang. So then you can take your heavy duty matches here. It's nice and it comes in this little bright orange container that is weatherproof. It's gonna keep your matches dry. You have how many matches in here? A lot. There's 40 matches in here. And like we said, they are double treated. So these are like very, very easy to start. They burn very hot. And in fact, in my little demo yesterday, I was like, oh, let me just demonstrate these things. I almost burned myself twice. Ended up tossing the fire starter into my fire pit and creating like an 8-foot tall fire that I wasn't really prepared for, but that's how well they work. So you have a nice little striking surface right there on the outside of the match container. I'm not gonna strike it now because I'm indoors and that would create a large problem, but it's great how easy it is to start fires with this stuff. Like I said, there's a skill for sure, a skill that you can flex on other people, that you can make fires out of nothing. But if you wanna hit the easy button, that's kind of like the solution we offered here, because you can start a bunch of fires with all of this here. Super fibrous, super dry, burns super clean, and it's easy to get a fire going. And if for some reason you don't get a fire started with just these two items alone, this kit does come with a bellows straw. What you can do is simply blow into your fire. The air is gonna provide fuel for that fire, but you don't have to like put your face in it and risk getting any sort of debris or ash or smoke into your eyes. But this thing allows you to blow into the fire and provide fuel for the fire and get it going. I don't anticipate you'll actually need this, but it's kind of cool that they went the extra mile to include it. Dude, look at all this. That's a lot of fire. You don't need all this, but we gave it to you anyway. And we like Selkirk. They're one of those brands, again, that were just easy to work with, and we like their materials, we like their thought process behind the construction of their products. And this is gonna last me a while. I mean, I don't think I start 192 fires a year. I've started a lot of fires. I haven't started 192 fires in my lifetime. I really don't think so. So you're kind of set for life here. Oh yes, you only have 40 matches, but like you can definitely figure out how to ignite this with other forms of spark ignition. I got one more item to show you, and it is a multi-tool from SOG. The SOG Power Access Deluxe. Multi-tools are incredibly versatile gadgets designed to combine multiple tools into one compact portable unit. They're perfect for a wide variety of tasks, making them handy for everyday repairs, outdoor adventures, emergency situations, professional use, and even hobbies and crafts. With the Power Access Deluxe, SOG has made it clear that their multi-tools can compete with any other brand on the market today. Featuring 21 total tools, this multi-tool includes 2 knife blades, a can opener, a bottle opener, a wood saw, 2 flat screwdrivers, a Phillips screwdriver, a 1/4-inch driver with hex bit, a chisel, a protractor, a ruler, a 3-sided file, a wire cutter, and more. The Power Access Deluxe is designed with 5CR15 MOV steel, which provides good sharpenability, good edge retention, and high corrosion resistance. Lastly, this edition of the Power Access Deluxe features a fully blacked out finish, making it the ultimate tactical EDC tool. I think everyone thinks of one particular brand when you say multi-tools. There's a lot of them out there, but I think sort of the Glock of multi-tools is gonna be Leatherman. And that is precisely what I carried when I was active duty. I remember very early on, right before basic training, a friend of mine's grandfather who was an Air Force veteran was like, you need to pick up a multi-tool. And I was like, brother, I don't even know what that is. Like I knew what it was, but I didn't own one. I didn't really see the purpose of having one. So either I bought this or he bought this, I can't remember, but this is a Leatherman rebar. And sure enough, I carried it with me through basic training and then like all 4 years of college and then 5 years of active duty service. So it's been great. There's nothing wrong with Leatherman. I'm not here to crap on Leatherman, but what I am here to do is talk about how SOG is a power player who can absolutely compete, or even better, Leatherman. So yours will come in this fancy little plastic box here. And inside the box, you have a nylon carrier that will hold your multi-tool. So this is what your multi-tool looks like. Now, again, I'm not here to say that one's better than the other. I'm not here to convince you that what we provided you is the world's greatest multi-tool, but I do want you to know that this is as good or better than this. And what's kind of wild is that these two are actually the same retail price, and yet the SOG version is significantly larger, significantly heavier, and comes with a 12-piece hex bit kit. So look, dude, it's a multi-tool. You have a plethora of options here. You have saws, you have blades. What's different actually is that you access these tools from the inside. SOG kind of went about it the opposite way, to where you don't actually access the tools from this side of the tool, you access them from the outside. Everything locks into place. You have a release back here to ensure that none of your tools are closing on your hands while you're using them. One small mistake here, I think on our little descriptive sheet, we said that it was 16 ounces. It's not 16 ounces, it's like 8.7, I think, which is still pretty heavy. That's like at least an ounce or an ounce and a half heavier than the Leatherman rebar. It's a great multi-tool, man. When you talk about real EDC, a lot of us carry blades as an EDC. I think if you want to be like really objective about it, a multi-tool is gonna be a better option for true daily carry because it offers you so many more options, right? We're the type of household to keep a Leatherman in the junk drawer in the kitchen. Everyone has that junk drawer, you know, it's filled with like napkins and hot sauce packets and stuff that you don't really know what to do with, so you just throw it in there. But it's also very centrally located in my house, and anytime I need a multi-tool, I just go to the junk drawer and pull out my multi-tool. It's handy, it stays right there, and I use it all the time. What's also interesting about this SOG version is that they offer this 12-piece hex bit kit. So inside your carry case, you have this little guy, and you can open this up like so, and here are all of your pieces. And there is one particular bit in here who looks like this. I'm sure there's a name for that, but I don't know what it is, right? This is what it looks like. Now you're gonna take your little hex bit converter, that sounds good, place it on top of your little bit there. It's nice and secure. And then you have all these options here. You have 12 different options to choose from: flathead, Phillips head, and lots of other things here. So pull out whatever you need. I'll pull out this flathead if I can get it out. These things are secure. And then you can place it inside the converter. Sure. And there you go. Now you have a flathead screwdriver ready for use. And it's like locked on there. So this is like very trustworthy. Everything is made of like a very respectable steel, so you can actually put this thing to work and trust that it's gonna be there for you when you need it. 12 different options here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yep. So of course the challenge though is like, can you keep up with both items? If you use the carry case, you should be fine, but I know that I have a bad habit of just throwing multi-tools in my pocket and forgetting that there's other bits that I might need later. So if you can actually keep up with this, it very much expands your capabilities with your SOG multi-tool. So I'm gonna take that off, release this little mechanism. You can release all the tools by pulling up and then releasing it. And then it's back to the way it goes when you got it open. Back to its carry case, and it's good. So this does have sort of MOLLE-like webbing on the back. It's got a button as well, so you could hook this onto your pants or your belt or whatever, right, and carry it with you. I think it's pretty cool, man. SOG is like out for blood. They're saying, look, we know that we make high quality tools and we can definitely compete with anyone else in the multi-tool market. So this Power XS Deluxe is definitely making a statement, and I think that you're gonna be a fan of it. But that wraps up supply drop number 33. Again, this was the major crate. We have other options. We also have a Facebook page which serves as a members only group. If you're not an active member, you can't join, but if you do become a subscriber of Crate Club, you can go join our Facebook page and start partaking in all that is there in that community. It's just a place to buy, sell, trade. We share ideas, we share tools, we check on each other, especially in situations like this hurricane that just blew through. I just want to say again that my heart goes out to all those that were affected by the hurricane. I can only imagine what a lot of people are experiencing right now. Yeah, we went without power for 3 days, but I'm not going to sit around and feel sorry for myself because I know that there's a lot of people out there that are in much, much worse situations. So thinking of you guys, if you can find a way to support, please do. So that wraps up supply drop number 33. This was the major crate. Please like, comment, subscribe whenever you see this. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, the whole 9 yards, right? Please reach out to us. We want to hear from you, whether you're a member or not. If you have questions or comments, please interact with us because we love to do so. I've said it once, I'll say it again. Iron sharpens iron. My name is Austin, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the future.